Julian is known for bursting down enemies as an assassin, but what if I told you there's a way to turn him into an unstoppable fighter with insane sustain and durability? In this video, I'm taking Julian into the EXP lane with a hybrid build that transforms him from a glass cannon into a frontline tank who can dominate team fights and endure damage for days while dishing out insane damage. Stick around, because this build is going to change the way you play Julian. In the laning phase, I always start with Elegant Gem. It gives me plus 300 HP and plus 380 mana, allowing me to trade effectively without worrying about getting burst down. The unique passive Gift is a game changer. When my HP drops below 50%, I recover 15% over 3 seconds. This keeps me in lane longer and lets me poke my opponent while spamming skills. Starting with Elegant Gem sets me up to thrive and gain an early advantage. The reason I don't go all in on magic damage is simple. Julian's passive gives him insane lifesteal, especially when his skills hit multiple enemies. But with most magic builds, you lose out on this sustain because you're too squishy to last in fights. So instead, I focus on making Julian harder to kill while still maintaining solid damage output. Here's the build: Arcane Boots for early magic penetration to poke your lane opponent. Concentrated Energy comes next to make full use of Julian's passive lifesteal, boosting his sustain early in the game. I grab Clock of Destiny since it is great for magic heroes that can perfectly sustain in combat, as it provides an adequate amount of HP, mana, an improving hybrid defense, and a much appreciated HP and mana regeneration effect, which lets me make use of Julian's passive fully. Plus, I always go for Elegant Gem first to get that extra early HP and mana. Blood Wings is a must-have late game item for even more magic power and a huge shield that makes it even harder to take Julian down. Then Queen's Wings. This is key. It reduces damage when you're low and gives life steal, making you near unkillable in team fights. Finally, I finish off with Twilight Armor, which helps tank burst damage from enemies like Aldous or Karina. So why does this build work so well in the EXP lane? Normally, Julian is built like an assassin, but in this lane, you need to outlast your opponent. By stacking lifesteal and sustain, I can jump into fights, deal consistent damage, and walk away with more HP than I started with. Vengeance is my spell of choice here. It's a perfect match for this playstyle, reflecting damage and healing me even more in longer trades. Plus, with items like Twilight Armor and Queen's Wings, you're not only tanky, but can stay in the fight much longer than typical Julian builds allow. This turns him into a pseudo bruiser who can soak up damage and dish it out. Most players go full magic and burst with Julian, but that makes you a glass cannon. You dive in, sure, but you'll get blown up just as fast. The enemy team is pressuring my lane with superior numbers, but I'm not just going to sit back and let them have their way. Whenever I see an opportunity, I engage and go for a quick trade. However, I'm always mindful of the enemy reinforcements. As soon as I sense their allies might come to help, I retreat to avoid getting caught out. This strategy keeps the enemy on their toes and allows me to apply pressure without risking my life or my tower. By engaging when I can and backing off before they can respond, I waste their time and enable my team to farm minions, secure objectives, and take down towers and gold plates freely. It's all about making smart decisions for the greater team advantage. While the enemy team was wasting time trying to pressure my lane, my teammates Vexana and Hanabi seized the opportunity. They each opened a tower and farmed those golden plates, racking up gold and experience while the enemies were distracted. Instead of complaining about ganks and waiting for your teammates to come to your aid, focus on what you can control. Survive the ganks. This proactive mindset will help you get closer to victory. Don't forget to assist your jungle when Turtle is close to your lane. I just finished building Concentrated Energy, and now I'm completing Elegant Gem into Clock of Destiny. This item is crucial for boosting my performance in battles. Clock of Destiny grants me plus 45 magic power, plus 400 HP, and plus 400 mana, along with a 10% cooldown reduction. The unique passive Destiny gives me hybrid defense whenever I deal magic damage to enemy heroes, stacking up to 6 times. This means I can become tankier in fights the more damage I deal. Plus, the Gift passive kicks in when my HP or mana drops below 50%, allowing me to recover 15% of both over the next 3 seconds. This is perfect for keeping me alive and maintaining my ability to deal damage in extended engagements. That was a good dodge. I just avoided Franco's ultimate with my second skill. After that death, I'm going straight for Twilight Armor. If I want to survive Aldous' burst damage, this is the way to go. In the footage you're about to see, watch how I engage the enemy front line, soak up damage, and come out on top. You'll see that this build isn't just about surviving, it's about turning every fight in your favor. No more hit and run. With this build, you stick around and dominate. And just like that, the enemy team is gone, and I have full health despite all the damage I took during the fight.